we are in the 21st century. We now have what we call body hacking. Body hacking is where you put in some technological device in different parts of your body just to enhance that part of the body.
Do your bum bum. If you want to do your bum bum, do your bum bum. Oh, like what these people are saying. Do your bum bum.
It's your body.
You pay for it at the end of the day.
But then, if you're doing your bum, no way you are doing the bum bum. Yeah. And who is also doing the bum bum? Because we don't want a case of pandemic of bum bum that is boxing bum bum. We don't want that. And these days now, you watch almost all the old Nollywood movies we are now seeing a pandemic of bum bums that are not shaped uniformly.
Hello to our wonderful viewers. Welcome to another episode of Life, Laughter, and Everything. We are back here again to discuss an interesting topic. But before we start, I would first like to say a very big thank you to our followers, our subscribers. I hope you all are enjoying our videos. I hope you all are following our stories and making comments, liking and following. Thank you so much. And also, before we still go on to the next topic of today, I would like to introduce my co-host. So, as you can see, I'm sitting here today. So I would like to start to introduce the man of the house. He's sitting on this side of the room and he's looking all summery and ready for summer. Summer body loaded. Is loaded already. So ladies and gentlemen, please let's make welcome for the most intelligent, the handsome Cosmos. Give it up for him, everybody. How are you feeling today, Cosmos?
Well, I feel great. I'm so flattered.
It's so chill. And thank you, Cosmos. And again, the ever cute, charming, say it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome to Lilian. How are you feeling today, Lilian? You look all relaxed.
I feel amazing and I'm ready to dig in.
Awesome. Thank you. So before we start, I would like us to play a game. Who is ready?
I am ready.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
So the game we're going to play today is called This or That. All right. So now the rules of the game is you just have few seconds to think about the question. Just let's say 3 seconds, and you just give me your answers. Are you ready?
Can we negotiate?
Okay. No negotiation. And some questions I might ask you. Why do you choose the answers that you chose? Ready? All right. So let's start with Cosmos. Would you rather live in a world without disease or in a world without poverty?
In a world without disease. Yeah.
Bro, poverty is real.
You need to be alive.
Hunger is real.
To look for money. You need to be healthy.
Absolutely.
To look for money.
Yes, health is wealth indeed. All right, Lily, how about you? Would you rather always feel safe and secure or always feel fulfilled and satisfied?
Always feel safe and secure.
Why that?
I don't know.
She just went for the first thing that came to her mind. All right, so Cosmos, back to you. So would you rather forget everything you know or forget everyone you know?
Forget everything I know.
Cosmos.
Yeah, because
with all your studies,
you can't.
All your years in the lab.
Those things would be meaningless without people. Right? Of course, you do all those. I did all those things just to, bring out meaning out of life. But then, if you're not making any meaning, if you're not impacting the society, of what use is the knowledge? So I would rather forgo everything I know and have my people, have my goons around me.
Wow, absolutely, that's nice. Now, you, Lilian, would you never be able to cry again or never able to laugh again?
You know the answer. Never be able to cry again. Who wants to cry?
Yes, absolutely. That's right. All right. So one last question for both of you. Cosmo, would you rather go to prison or spend your life on the run from the place?
Temple run.
Run, oh, run.
Oh my God! Run, oh, run! So you run from the police.
Oh my God, I need to run.
So you can say just you could stay in the prison for a couple of years and you're out.
No, my freedom is very paramount.
Freedom, absolutely. And the last one, Lily, would you rather live alone or live with your family?
Of course, live with my family.
Oh my God, that's interesting. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's game, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll be bringing more of some things like this for you in subsequent episodes. So let's dive into today's topic. Who's ready? Drum rolls, please. All right. So today we're looking at a topic which we know it's been in existence for a long time about cutting, piercing, rebranding or branding, all sort of body art, and it's called body modification. So it looks as if this is something that's been in existence over the centuries, and people have taken to it as, and they've seen it as this is something I have to do for myself. People have embraced it. A lot of people are going into it. So let's really dive into this topic today. So when we talk about body modification, Cosmos, what comes to your mind?
Body modification. Some people call it body mutilation. Some also call it body alteration.
That's right.
So simply put, it's just altering the body from its natural way, into, a different way, altering it in various ways. So we can, in terms of definition, we can say it's a deliberate, alteration of the body, either for medical or non-medical purposes, and every other reasons for it. So, and of course, body modification, it ranges from the mild up to the severe forms of body alteration. And some of the common ones, and that we are familiar with, we can talk about piercing any part of the body. A lot of us pierce, and I think there's hardly a person that does not pierce these days. At least, as a lady, you have one piercing, at least one piercing in the body, at least the ear. You pierced your ear to have your earring. Yeah, that's for those that, put on, earrings. So we have tattooing, and we have branding, just like Sandra mentioned. Branding is about just, for instance, you've seen movies where people just put a very hot, knife, in a burning steel, and then they just use it to create a dent on their skin, just to brand them in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And we have what we call scarification. So where people, deliberately just, create scars for themselves and their body for different reasons.
That's right.
And these days we are in the 21st century. We now have what we call body hacking. Body hacking is where you put in some technological device in different parts of your body just to enhance that part of the body. And I know a lot of people don't talk about this one. Going to the gym as well, when you build your body, you want to build those abs, you want, flat tummy, you want, your bum to shoot out, all those stuff. It's also part of, body modification or altering, the body. So of course we have, so these ones are, I would say they are, the mild to moderately, moderate ones. But we have the more severe ones where we have implantation, where we have, cutting some part of the body and transferring, some portion of the body's, tissues, to other portions to enhance the portion that have less, taking one part that has more to enhance the one that have less, and vice versa, and all that. So, and those ones involve, of course, surgery. Generally we call them cosmetic surgery. So these are the more, severe ones. Of course, these things, come with their their do's and don'ts. Yeah.
Of course. Absolutely, that's very insightful, customers, really, because when you talk about body modifications, it just ranges from, and there's some part of it that we don't even know they're actually body modification, like you mentioned, going to the gym and all that. But now talking about how it affects us as people, as a group of people, talking about, because I know this has been in existence for a very long period of time. So, Lilian, what do you have to say when it comes to looking at it from the cultural and spiritual aspect of it?
Body modification in the cultural aspect can depict rites of passage. Some countries, some African countries, even the Aboriginal countries, it can be cited that you pass on growing membership into like age group and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people can have their tooths removed. Some of them can have piercing that shows that you have gotten to this age. It differentiates you from this person and that person. Culturally, some like the Musi women in Ethiopia, I think, and some clans in Sudan. Some of them have those rings in their legs.
That one.
Yes. Sometimes it also shows beauty. Even though some people cannot see these things as beauty, but because of what it signifies in their culture, it can also be beauty. Sometimes it's preservation of heritage. It shows that this is where these people are coming from, and it is passed from age, generation to generation. I think that's pretty much it. Culturally, some people just identify with these tattoos, body scarring, some rituals, some markings on their body around them, and that is what represents them.
Yeah, that brings my mind to another part of Africa, like Nigeria to be precise, where they are being identified by a certain kind of look. It could be like the tribal marks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So when you see people with tribal marks, you know these are people from a certain part of the country. I don't really see those tribal marks. Because I don't know, have you noticed, like the tribal marks, I don't really see it in existence lately.
Yeah. There's been a lot of changes as time goes by. There's been a lot of advancement.
That's right.
People now have rights, to choose what they want to do and what they don't want to do.
That's right.
But then it's still there, probably in the remote places. For instance, I lived in Ibadan or your state for a long time. So there's a pattern of their tribal mark. So when you go to, for instance, Ondo, there's also a pattern of tribal mark.
Does this pattern tell a story, or is it sort of an identity, or because
of course it's not just an identity, it also tells a story. So I believe if you go to the custodians of the land, the people who understand the culture, they should be able to explain why we have this pattern of tribal marks on our face, and what meaning, what does it mean, and all that. For some, it's there are different spiritual
so I was gonna get to that.
For some, they put a tribal mark on you to maybe ward off evil spirits, based on their own religious belief. While for some, they put certain kind of tribal mark to maybe if you come from a lineage where they usually fall sick and all that, so they can put that kind of dent or all sorts of mark on you, just to make sure that they keep you alive. Some they say if without putting this on you, you won't be alive to the next day. So different reasons for having such and all that. So
for some people, it can also be it gives them spiritual strength. Some of these markings present as
like
giving
fortification.
100%. And for some people, it's a connection to their ancestors.
I see. Wow, that's really interesting. Viewers would really like to hear what sort of body modification, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect of it, because some of these things are no longer in existence, or we think is no longer in existence. What are your opinions about that? We would like to hear that from people who actually have these body modifications that has to do with something spiritual or has to do with something cultural. Interesting. So moving on now, another part of body modification that we mentioned here is about the beauty enhancement. People go through these extreme measures of getting their body, go under the knife, so to speak, to get to look a certain type of way. And currently, we're beginning to see a lot of people looking in a certain kind of way. So, Cosmo, what would you like to say about body modification as it relates to aesthetics and beauty enhancement?
Well, truth be told, there's nothing wrong with trying to look beautiful, enhance your body in some kind of way to boost your confidence and then to give you that high self-esteem that you want. There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, the main question is, do you understand what you want to do? That's one. Then the second thing is, for what's the reason? What's the purpose for doing it? All right. So I think in our society today, the common issue where you find, a lot of dichotomy in terms of why people do this is, you hear all sorts of reasons. For instance, you hear some people, they want to, enhance their body to suit a particular profession. All right. So I'll just go straight to the point. Like people in Nollywood.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask some profession needs a body modification.
It seems like they are making it look like, for you to be able to get roles in Nollywood of today, you need to have bum bum. You need to have your breast pushed up so firm so that, whatever character they
say it as it is, bro.
You act it and
The pressure is getting wetter and wetter.
You're thinking about going to Turkey, Lilian? Turkey.
I booked my flight.
Everyone is going to Turkey, and today we have a pandemic of bum in Nollywood. And it's of course, I'm not judging anyone, but then if it continues this way, then every girl child will want to have bum bum, will want to have their body modified in one way or the other. And because of that, a lot of people will lose their confidence, will lose confidence in the natural body they have. You see some persons that are already beautiful, well built, but then they say, oh, I want it higher. I want it bigger. I want it this, Yeah.
But come on, that's aesthetics.
Yeah, it's good. That's why I said, what's the reason? And of course, if you've established the reason for doing that, then you also need to understand what the procedures is like. I believe we'll still talk about that.
That's right.
What it entails and all that. But for the sake of being beautiful, it's fine. It's okay. But what I would just say, just do it within the confines of what you can handle. All right. Because there are very extreme stuff people do just to look good. People go through a lot of pain just to look good. I believe we'll still talk about that. So I don't want to, move faster than, So.
Well, that's really interesting. But in their defense, also, people say they do go through these processes or these procedures because it has to, it's part of like health reasons. Like people say they go through these things because is it that maybe they're diabetic or maybe PCOS and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they say they have to, either to lose some weight or to either to do something so, and these are some enhancements that we can say, okay, these are the ones that we can.
Absolutely. There are some cosmetic surgery that are corrective surgery. For instance, you see people, who are involved in, a motor accident, a car accident, and because, their body has been disfigured in some form, so they need, a good cosmetic surgeon to come in to repair and, mold that part of the body back to, shape or even make it better and all that. For some is to, after undergoing treatment from the accident, some will even undergo cosmetic surgery to remove any scar that would, reveal that, oh, this person had an accident before.
in the past.
Corrective surgeries and all. For that purposes, that's good. That's okay, that's fine. And some also go as far as, putting in implants in their body. For instance, for those who have fractures, or any bone related, damages. So they can put in implants just to be able to walk, walk again and all that. And the other time I mentioned body hacking.
That's right.
Yeah. So some people, this one is a little bit away from aesthetics, but for the purpose of ease in doing their job. For instance, for someone who plays the piano, the person can decide to put in some kind of chips in his fingers to help him have a faster finger when he's moving. And for some, they put on some kind of aid close to in their ears just to help them, hear better. And all that. And of course, some, put in some stuff, modify, their eyes, modify the eyelids. Maybe it's attracting too much light and they want to, modify it in a way. So different, reasons and all that. Of course, if it's for medical reason, fine. But of course, what we have today in our society, we have lots of non-medical reasons for body modification.
All right, Cosmos, that was really very insightful. And now, still going on, still talking about the aesthetics and beauty. So, Lilian, now, in some people's defense, they say they have reasons why they do certain things to their body. They have justifications for it. Do you have anything to say about that?
For starters, let's not forget that your body belongs to you.
That's right.
Your body is your body, and you have every right to do whatever you want to do to your body. Now, buttressing on what Cosmos said, some people go into these cosmetic surgeries or medical surgeries for the sake of their health. Some people go through mommy makeovers because they now have stretches in their body. Some of them have their breasts and their stomach sagged. Some of them have, their body doesn't look the way that they want it to look, and it sometimes leads to depression. And the society is not so friendly and so kind to people with some certain body types. And it puts people under a lot of pressure to go under the knife. And it's also okay if these people choose to do this. It's just that sometimes we have to think about what these consequences are after these surgeries.
That's really true, because a lot of people just I think I mentioned it to a friend. She said she had to go through what's it called, gastric sleeve and all that. And after losing the weight, so she had like excess skin, so she had to go in for skin
grafting.
Exactly. So and that is to her defense. So nobody wants to walk around with a sagging skin and all that. But then again, there are some extreme measures of this whole body modification. Now, having said that, now let's look at some of the cons. Now, when we talk about some of these things, there are some things also we need to consider. So, Cosmos, what do you have to say about that?
Picking it up from where Lilian stopped, where she ended with saying that some of these things have their consequences and all that, and people really need to, consider that. The consequences, ranges from even societal, consequences, implications, up to, something more serious that people should even be more concerned about, which is the medical aspect of it. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk a little bit on the medical aspect of it. We've had series of stories where even online some of these things are fabricated, while some of them are actually true. where you hear saying, I have to use pidgin language to express
Bring it
this
home.
word so that hey, people will understand it. You go here say, oh, person they work out for street in Yash box.
Oh no.
Wow. You know? You know,
Really?
I saw a video sometime, you know, I knew it was a skit. So there was this lady with very big boobs and she was just walking in the street and another guy came with a needle and just
Oh
exploded. You know, everything was just trying to describe, you know, oh, this person has modified his body or her body and all that. Yeah, anyway, scratch that. Well, there are lots of I think to understand the consequences of one needs to understand first of all what it entails, the procedures. I think one of the major issues is that a lot of people go into these stuffs without having a grasp of what the procedure is all about. And that's why when you undergo these procedures in a very good facility, the medical personnel there, one of the first thing he or she must do is to explain in detail what the procedures, what they look like, and give you an idea of this is what we will do, this is what we will do, this is the part of your body we will cut. And then after that, they will also give you an idea of, okay, after the surgery is successful, we'll do this, we'll follow up, we'll do this and do that. And then, most importantly, they should also tell you in case when something goes wrong, that they will have to, you know, maybe stop the process and do a corrective stuff to return you back to your normal position.
It never happens. Never.
Yeah. So it starts with having that awareness, you know. Yeah, because sometime was it while I was you know trying to do a little research on this topic, you know, I dangled into a paper where you know people were asked questions about you know why you know they want to go into you know modify their body and all that. So a lot of people gave different reasons you know for it, and they opted. They said yes, we want to do it, we want to do it, we want to do it. But according to the writer that published that paper, he said one common thing among the people that agreed that they want to do it is that they didn't care about the procedure. They were just looking at, okay, it's going to beautify me, it's going to make me look good. So nobody cares about, okay, is there a consequence to this? So yeah, I would say one of the consequences, and these consequences ranges from you know the kind of procedure you undergo. So let me talk on maybe a few. Let's pick maybe tattoo.
I'm going to come back to you on that because now let me go to Lilian. You know, when we're talking about like just picking up from what he said before we go to the tattoo and all that, because I want to hear that. Now we talk about these things that people do and the way society sees it. What are some of the stigmas? Are there stigmas? What is it like with our generation right now? What's going on? Like, what would you have to say about that, Lilian?
Culturally, some of these
are there pressures,
but the pressure is getting worse.
I can imagine. Really,
of course. One is peer pressure. I don't know. What should I talk first? The pressure or the stigma?
Na collabo.
Oh, pardon me. Really?
Cosmos already mentioned that some of the things that leads people to do. Some people don't even know why they want to do that.
That's the point. That's the pressure. It's crazy.
Oh, Lilian has. No, not me. Someone has big boobs.
And it's carved in a type of way.
You know.
Yeah. But trust me, it looks beautiful. You know the hourglass shape?
I know.
It's very aesthetically beautiful.
I know. But then what do you have to pay for?
No, you know, you put on a cloth, you put on some outfits, you look so good in them. You know? And I think the men like that look as well. Well, seriously.
It's men. I think men are the problem.
I'm going to talk about that.
Well, they will come for me as usual, but it's part of the pressures.
Yeah.
From the beginning, Cosmos spoke about people going into a certain industry, and you have to look a certain way. You just have to look perfect. Some people, because their friends are so, you know, look so pretty, so perfect, they also want to look like that. Most people don't even know who they are. Some of them is just a path to self-discovery, which at the end of the day, they don't even, that's where they get lost. They don't even
And it's
end up
also a
discovering
trend.
themselves. Of course, it's a trend. Some people are unhappy even after doing these surgeries because you've been pressurized to get into it. You probably might not even have the money to keep up with all the hospital visitations and the retouching and the follow-up. Thank you. It's so expensive.
Wow.
I'm still saving money to go to Turkey, by the way, but
So what part of your body do you want to modify?
Hey, let's stop behind the camera.
That's smart. That's smart.
So, some of these pressures that come with thinking of how every other person can walk into a room and will first be noticed before you. It's the society that has accepted it. This same society can also be very hypocritical and still judge you. Oh, she's done her body. Or when you now end up falling sick, that's the problem. Then the stigma that comes with it is that you're unable to get into some certain jobs.
That's right.
Because you have modified your body. Maybe you have a lot of piercings everywhere on your face, or you have tattoos that are visible. Some jobs won't take you. Some cultures, some religions do not accept people who have pierced their body or who have a lot of tattoos on their body or who have modified their body in some kind of way. And that way people stereotype you.
Wow.
So there are a lot of stigmatization that comes with people who have modified their body.
Well,
so many.
Well, I agree to that, and I'm going back to Cosmo. You know, we're going to talk about the tattoo and all that. I think when tattoos, and people shouldn't tag or stigmatize people based on people wanting to put some sort of beautiful artwork on their body, because
I don't think
tattoos,
so too.
they look really beautiful.
When
really.
I come back from Turkey, I'll go and do that.
You're really hurting. So Cosmos, back to you. We're going to talk about the tattoos and all that. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. So I was talking about the, some of the consequences of this. Like if we talk about, tattoo, there are some medical concerns, that comes from it. For instance, you could talk about, first of all, the facility where you
do it.
did it. Are the equipment used for it, the blades, are they well sterilized? All right. Because you have a lot of people coming in there using the same, equipment and all that. So are they well sterilized? Because at the end of the day, some people, there have been cases where people come in to do a tattoo and then they go back home with various kinds of infections. Of course, this infection ranges. The most popular ones is, of course, we know HIV and hepatitis. And these are, chronic infections.
That's right.
Yeah. So, that's for tattoos. Apart from that, you could also talk about, let's not fail to mention that it's a very painful procedure. It can be very painful. Some people have seen videos where they are tattooing someone. The guy was just crying like a baby.
Well, in defense to that, I have it.
But they have numbing cream. Oh,
yeah. Yes, but it wasn't really a very painful experience. It was just like a tingling sensation.
Yeah. How big is the other two?
Well, we'll see after.
It depends. And it also depends on the position of the tattoo.
Cosmos and position of the tattoo.
Positioning of the
tattoos. Well, yeah, some people go through some sort of pain, but there are some tattoos these days. I don't know what it's called. You don't have to go through some sort of pain, just like ink, right? Yes. So those ones are actually very beautiful. A lot of people, when they go to Bali, they come back, they have like the sleeve tattoos
that will be
and all that. It's really very beautiful. I really love body art. I really love them because it kind of tells a story. Taking it back to when my grandma, because she used to be among the people back in the days when a woman wants to, get married, a lady wants to get married, they put them in a room, they put some sort of things on their body, like some sort of beautifications, even some tattoos and even henna. as well. So these things also like kind of modifies and make people look beautiful. Although, like you mentioned, some of the facilities and some of the tools they use to do these things might not be properly sterilized, because sometimes you see people do this, get these tattoos, and they have some sort of bumps coming out and some sort of skin irritation. And even in extreme cases, skin cancer.
So I was even going to mention that as well, because this is those tattoos. Sometimes you have what we call sepsis. Sepsis is when your body, reacts to foreign things. Tattoo is among them. Some of those things. So you just all of a sudden you're having inflammation. The wound there at that point is not healing. Some people even bleed, and this bleeding continues and all that. In addition to the pain, they feel and all that. So these are some of the concerns. Everything just all boils down to where it's being done and who is doing it. Is the person trained enough to be able to handle such, do it well without any problem or without any medical concern? So that's the main thing.
Well, it's been a long conversation for today, and this conversation still goes on even to our viewers. But before we end today's conversation, today's episode, one last word from you, Lilian.
Do your bum bum. If you want to do your bum bum, do your bum bum. Don't let what these people are saying. Do your bum bum.
It's your body.
You pay for it at the end of the day.
Well, I didn't expect to hear that, but viewers, you have it from Lilian. How about you, Cosmos?
Well, just like she said, do your bum bum in peace. But then, if you're doing your bum, know where you are doing the bum bum, and who is also doing the bum bum, because we don't want a case of pandemic of bum bum that is boxing bum bum. We don't want that. And these days now, you watch almost all I need to say it, all the old Nollywood movies we see. We are now seeing a pandemic of bum bums that are not shaped uniformly. Bum bums that are not shaped uniformly. So
say it nicely.
I need to be very blunt at this stage. We are seeing bum bums that the left part is bigger than the right part. Please, Nollywood, me una help us, I beg. So it's a matter of where these things are being done, and so please, if you're going to do this thing, do it well. Do it in a very good place, and then get it done and understand what you're doing. Most importantly, and know the consequences of it.
Anti-eye.
All right.
I also forgot to mention that while you're making researches about what you're doing, where you're going, and thinking about, how healthy the facility is, remember that there are organ harvesters. We've seen a lot of organ harvesting now, and people die on the table from getting anesthesia or tattoos or any other procedure. Most people go in for these procedures and don't come back. Your family members might not see you, or your family members might see you and not see your organs. So you have to make researches about where you're going and be sure that these people are really not cannibals.
Yeah, very important.
Well, nicely said, ladies and gentlemen. So from me, I would say whether tattoos, whether beauty enhancement, whether piercing, whatever sort of modification, I think is a way you want to express yourself. It's your body and it's your story you're telling. And also it has to be respected and it has to be understood by everybody. And also when you have people around you who have gone through some sort of body modification, you don't have to judge. You don't have to, tell them how they would want to look. This is their body. Your body is your decisions to make. But then you have to also think before you do these things. Think before you go through these procedures. Think before you take these decisions. Do you want to take them back later? So these are some of the things that should be in your mind. But from us, we would like to hear some of your comments. What do you think about body modifications? Tell us your opinion. Tell us what you think. Or tell us, have you gone through any sort of body modifications? What was it like? How does the society perceive you? What does it change who you are? So that's what we would like to hear from you in the comment section. So thank you once again for joining us on today's episode of Life, Laughter, and Everything. And we'd like to see you in our next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.